Hello, everybody, and welcome to Problem Solve Her, a fun, cool, innovative, informative podcast for women and men of all ages. I'm your co-host, Chloe, along with my girl,
Dagmar.
Daggy Licious is in the house.
We would like to take a moment in this episode to thank our sponsors. Palm Beach Dog Academy is located right here in the heart of sunny South Florida. Founded by Jeff Nelson, who did his training at the Harvard of Dog Training Academies at the Tom Rose School in Missouri. I can say firsthand that Jeff not only has the credentials and the experience, he knows how to train dogs properly. He trained my beloved Oscar, our furry favorite guy who lived till 19 years of age. For more information about Jeff's packages and his academy, please visit palmbeachdogacademy.com.
Dagmar, don't you find it interesting, since you do all our SEO and analytics and you're the queen of that 25% of our listeners and viewers are men? Why do you think that is?
Our topic is pretty neutral. It's not really a man's or woman's topic. We share it from a woman's perspective. But at
True.
the end, both genders goes through the same, right? If it's self-esteem, if it's holistic health, if it's
self-care,
being a
dating,
dog
business
dad,
advice.
dog mom.
Yeah. I also think men want to hear what women are talking about. And if that's the case, they're very smart for doing it.
Yeah. And I listen to podcasters, they are men, they speak about personal growth, and I listen to women about it and different perspectives, and then I create my own.
There you go. I love that. Well, today, Oliver likes that too. He just wanted to
He has his own perspective too.
Always. Tell us what we're discussing today while I drink my pineapple, turmeric, cayenne pepper, lemon, and strawberries.
Love it. Today we talk
self-care right here.
Yes. Today we talk about the beauty of starting over, and I look at it with a smiling and a tearing eye without any questions.
Well, yeah, it could be heavy, but it could be light as a topic, right? It could go either way.
Yeah. What I learned, and from my culture, change is not something what is liked, what is seen as positive.
I think that's in a lot of cultures.
Yeah.
People don't like change. They're scared of it.
Yeah. What is wanted, right? So starting over means you let something go, you close a door, and you go through a new door. And it for sure helps you to grow without any questions. I had to, and I wanted to start over many times in my life. And when I wanted to did not mean it was not painful. The beginning was exciting because it was my decision, but then you had to deal with so many new things you never dealt before. So you start from scratch again, right? It's like I heard the comparison from the Kabbalah teacher I'm following. And he compared it like you play football, junior league, and then you're the best. And now NFL picks you up, and now you're the worst, right? And now you have to prove yourself. So I think that's what it is, from being confident about what you know and also being open-minded and excited about what you don't.
Absolutely. But the beauty in starting over, and let's talk about what that means, right? So for me, it's a broad spectrum of things, right? So starting over could be you're ending a relationship, you're moving out of someone's house, and you're living on your own now. You decide you want to move to a different country or a different state. That's starting over. You're changing careers. You're starting over. You have a new pet. That's a start over. When I birthed my son Oliver in, in the veterinary clinic. um, that was starting over for me in a sense, because I was just recovering from my torn Achilles and sprained ankle. My parents said, "Are you crazy? You
I
can't start
remember.
this new chapter and
Yeah.
get a puppy that's going to be tripping all over your foot." That was a massive, and there was a lot of hard nights. I told you he swallowed a few things a few times, and I'm a Jewish mother. I'm like a frantic mess and watching and listening. Now it's cool, but change is good and change is a part of life. And I think that a lot of people become very complacent and they don't want to do it. I know people that have dreams of living somewhere else and they've never left the town that I grew up in. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people want to be, we call them polies, prisoners of Long Island. That's where we grew up. If you want to be a polie, that's fine. That's your business. But I always feel that taking a leap of faith, and I know that term sounds corny, but really just going in the moment, being adventurous and, stepping outside your comfort zone is such a cool thing to do as a human. We are here to have experiences, to fail, to succeed, to cry, to laugh, to mourn, to be depressed, to be happy, all the emotions, right? To eat a lot, to eat a little too less, to wake up starving, to wake up full, maybe a little hangover, drank too much, uh, not drinking at all, taking a break, having a reset. All those things are so important for humans to do. So I'll tell you a story. It's really interesting. I decided to take want to talk about change. Said I can't live in New York City right now. It's too hectic. Everything's, there's drums going off in my head. I want to go back to California. I was born in LA. How dare my parents move? My dad was supposed to be this massive famous actor. My mom was a producer. How dare they take me? I was supposed to be like the next Drew Barrymore. How dare you guys do this to me? So I decided I'm going to move back to LA. My parents said, okay, you'll be back in a year. You'll see. LA is very different now. Okay. This was in the early 2000s. I said, no, no, no. I'm going to move there and I'm going to drive to California. Okay. I told my parents a little fib that my friend Don, shout out to Don, who has a fabulous big production company today. He was coming with me because he was going out to LA to, work on this movie, that part was true. Because if I told them I was driving alone, they would be like, my Jewish father calling me every 5 minutes. You okay? And this is the time where there's flip cell phones. There's no plug it in and do the road maps and Siri's talking to you. And I'm using maps. And I leave Long Island, New York in a snowstorm. I wake up 7 in the morning. I said, I'm making it to Columbus, Ohio tonight. I mapped out the whole thing. My mom said, leave in a few days. It's a snowstorm. I said, I'm ready to go today. The car is packed. I'm leaving now. NOW. Nobody's stopping me unless Brad Pitt showed up at the door, which he didn't. I get in the car. I start driving. I get on the Long Island Expressway. Cars are sliding all over the place. I'm talking about a massive big northeastern snowstorm. I am so determined. I'm driving. I had an SUV. I'm in 4-wheel drive. I'm driving. My dad keeps calling me. And back then, I didn't drink coffee at all. Okay? Nothing. I'm in my early 20s. And now I'm getting tired. And I stopped a few times. I got something to eat. Now it's 7:00 at night. I've been driving since 7 in the morning. Okay. And I said, I see the sign. My God, it's like 45 minutes. Chloe, just push it, push it. So now I get to Columbus and I'm like, where am I staying? What am I doing? I didn't think I was going to make it that far, right? I called my dad and I sell my dad on a little dream called the Grand Hyatt Hotel. Dad, I've been driving all day. I did so well. I'm so proud of myself. I achieved my goal of the first day. I deserve a fat steak, a nice big glass of red wine, and I want to stay in a suite at the Grand Hyatt. Oh, do you now? Yes, I deserve this. Who's paying for this? Well, you are. You let your daughter go. Where's Don? Isn't Don with you? By the way, Don didn't make it. He's already in LA on the movie. True part of the story. And he's on set. So I'm here by myself. You're alone? Dad, you want your only daughter? Now, back then, Dagmar, can you believe this? You could call a hotel and give your credit card number over the phone.
Yeah.
Because people weren't stealing information back then. My dad called. They said, can you fax us a copy of your ID and the credit card? He gave it over the phone. He faxed it in. I got there and I had this big suite. So then I say to the hostess, the front desk lady, concierge, I just drove literally 13 hours from New York, Huntington, New York, in a snowstorm. Where can I get a nice big piece of steak? Oh, we have a restaurant right next door and it's open until midnight. It's a Thursday night. People are at the bar. It's all packed. I sit at the bar and this cute guy sits next to me and he's older than me. And, you know, my 20, maybe he was like 35. And we started talking. And I said, listen, I just want to let you know that if you want to hang out with me for the next 2 hours, I can chat, but that's it. I have to get up, get back on the road and be in Indiana tomorrow. And he's like, can I buy you dinner? And I was like, great. I didn't spend my dinner money from dad. So he bought me dinner. He had a couple drinks and he had a bunch of friends there. And then I left him about midnight and I went to sleep and I woke up and I got to Indiana the next day.
Wow.
That was day 2. Then day 3 was I have to make it to Arizona. Dylan's friend was having a party then. And I stayed there and the music was till 5 a.m. House music. I woke up, like slept 3 hours and I said, up, gotta get to LA. Drove to my best friend of all time, my oldest first friend, Justin, to his house. And I show up and he goes, did you just drive here from New York in 4 days? I said, yes, by myself.
Wow. Starting over. What a journey.
I mean, that's a real good example of go for it. Nike, best slogan of all time. Just do it.
We would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Cafe Bastille originated in Miami, now has a location in downtown Fort Lauderdale for almost 2 years. Located steps from Las Olas and sitting on the canal, I can personally say I frequent there often. Their lattes are wonderful, hot or cold. The velvet pancakes just melt in your mouth. The pommes frites are on point, and the bottomless mimosas for brunch all day long are absolutely fabulous. For more information, please go to cafebastiledowntown.com.
There's so much power in messaging, isn't there?
It's the frequency and emotion the messaging creates.
Yeah, big
for
time.
it. Yeah. So during this 4-day journey, did you ever have a moment where you thought you wouldn't make it?
Never. Dagmar, you know me. Once I'm focused and determined, I am relentless. Nothing's stopping me. I did have along the way, everything creeps in your mind, a little bit of fear. I'm driving alone. I'm a female stuck in a snowstorm. I remember driving through New Mexico and it was beautiful sunshine. Then it started raining and then hail, like snow hail drops.
Mm-hmm.
Within like 2 hours, I'm seeing all these different temperatures and all these roads. And I'm like, life is so beautiful. I'm so ready for this journey. Nothing is going to stop me. You know the song? Ain't no stopping us now. I'm on the move. I'm
Cool.
on the move.
Tell us about starting over in your relationships.
Oh, I need to put some vodka in here if we're going to do that.
Yeah, that's a little bit different, especially if it was not.
Yeah.
was
Thanks
not
for throwing the
your
curveball at me.
choice.
I should have known you were coming with that.
If it was not your choice or if it was something you didn't want to do, but you knew you had to.
So Dylan, for those listening, is my brother. And he used to make a joke and say to me, you stomp on guys' hearts. You stomp on them. You dance on their hearts. And I'm like, it's not funny. That's not my intention. That's not what I want to do. And he said, maybe you're like scared of commitment because you've broken up with every guy you brought home to meet us, meaning him and my parents. And I had a lot of serious boyfriends, one for 2 years, one for 3, one for 5, one for 7, one for 8. And at some point I said to myself, okay, what are we doing here? And it wasn't even necessarily on some of the relationships. And I don't want to speak, badly about anyone, but it wasn't like anything specific maybe even happened. It's like that light bulb moment goes off in your head and you go, what's happening here? And maybe that's why that I'm not married and I've never been married. I'm in my 40s. It's not because I had plenty of guys that wanted to marry me. Let me be clear. I had 3 guys that proposed. I had a pre-engagement ring from one guy and another guy that bought a ring and called Dylan. And Dylan's like, Chloe, abort mission. He wants to, I was like, return to sender. I didn't want to embarrass himself. And I just, for whatever reason, I just wasn't ready. I'm so independent. And I think that looking back, I don't have any regrets on any of them going, you know what, I should have married that guy. I made a mistake. I can honestly say that. There's one that my parents really, really wanted me to marry. I told you about him, Scottish Israeli. We're still friendly. Dylan still speaks to him. And we would have been perfect. The timing wasn't right. He moved to the United States from the UK to work for my dad and with me and my brother, and everyone was living together in my parents' house, because he like just came here and what are we going to do? And let's figure it out. And then unfortunately, my aunt, my dad's sister passed, who was like a second mother to me. God, I miss her every day. She passed. And then my dad decided my parents were going to move back to Jamaica full time. And my dad was going to let Dylan and this boyfriend take over the business kind of. And there were so many transition periods.
Your family's business?
Dylan was like, kind of in charge. And this guy was going to really be at the forefront with him. And then, of course, we had someone who helped manage it with my dad for many years who was still there. But my dad was just burnt out. And, after 500, the company had done, over 500, I told you this recently, over 500 transactions for commercial real estate is, unheard of, really, for a boutique firm. So we were high volume. Everyone knew who we were. And I think because all those things happened, and he was very close with my aunt also. We dated for 2 years. And then there were some trust issues in the beginning of the relationship. I'm not going to get into that. But maybe that was the only one that if the timing was different, we would have been married. And he's 5 years younger than me, which is like nothing. You know me. I like the younger ones, 5, 10, 15. I go up, down, 10, 15.
Sugar mama.
So I think that in relationships, looking back on all of them, and, one that I just had for 8 years, which you know about, when you get a little bit older, and when I say older, because some people might be listening to this and go, you're in your 40s, you're not older. Older meaning if you start dating at like, 16, how many ever years later, I think what's important to you changes. It really, really changes. So for me, it used to be, I love really tall guys. I'm okay with short kings now. If a short king came around and he was smart and he was funny and Jewish on top of that, yep, Jewish on top of it, successful,
Jewish
had the
sugar daddy.
I'd be all about it. Played golf, sports, I'd be like, okay, bring my short king. I'd bring my short emperor. But I used to be like, no, he has to be really tall. And, certain things change. But humor's really important still. And I need a guy who can just pick up and go, because that's something about me that a lot of people are scared to do. I would move to the English countryside tomorrow, because we don't talk politics on here, but everything that's going on in the world, I would move there tomorrow. I love it. It's peaceful. My great grandmother is from the UK. She's British, and Jamaica was a British colony for many years, and they still live somewhat in the same in terms of government and certain things. So I have an epiphany, not epiphany, sorry. I have an affinity. I do have a lot of epiphanies, but I have an affinity to the Brits because of that and my heritage. And I'm someone that just can pick up and go. So I need a guy who, believe it or not, likes to reset and start. I can start over very frequently. I can't stay in a job for 15 years. Please, dear Lord, no. I don't know how these people do it. Bless them. I would be so bored. So that's kind of my perspective. But what for you was the biggest life-changing moment of your life? Like the biggest one that stands out? Because we have so many.
Moving
Because
to
I'm going to throw it back
States.
on you now.
Moving to the United States was the biggest change in my life, but it was the chosen one for love.
Right.
And I was
How old were you?
37. And I was very excited about it. I had other really painful life changes. And I think my biggest struggle with seeing the beauty of starting over is that within me, I always believe I can change the situation, the job situation, the person, the environment, and I will do whatever it takes for a very, 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 very long time to make this happen before I give it up. And now with age, I'm learning faster to go through a process. And now I do it every day, honestly. Asking myself, is this the life I want to live? And if it's not the life I want to live, what can I change to make it the life I want to live? If I have the power over it. If I don't have the power over it, I accept that I don't have the power over it and let it go. Because thinking about it negatively, nagging about it, being depressed about it or sad or angry or whatever does not change anything.
Nothing.
So we have this saying in Germany, perhaps you have it here too, be wise enough to understand what you can change and understand what you cannot change. And then let go what you cannot change and make good decisions in the moment, realize one or the other. And as I was young, I didn't want to hear it. Like, I can't change anything. And now that I'm older, I realize that perhaps you could change something, but it takes so much out of you, so much effort, so much energy, so much money, so much of your own frequencies that perhaps you change it, but you don't like the result because you changed through that, right? Like in a relationship, and then with the belief you're together to the end of your life, right? So I was raised believing if you have a partner, you're together to the end of your life. You do not give up
Wow.
on this partnership. And it
No
took me,
matter what the circumstances are?
yeah.
Wow. That's heavy.
So, and then if you're not raised with self-care, no self-care. If you are raised being the good girl, high pain level of what you can handle and you're willing to take, right? So change did not sound pretty. And
Right.
was not really something I was seeking.
Well, it's not what you ever knew.
Right. Right. For my culture, you were born, you're a child, you go to school, get a job, or you study, you're in your job for the next 45 years, you retire, you're on your garden, perhaps you travel a little bit and you die. Period.
You just depressed me. Like, I just got so sad. I really did. There's so much more to life.
So this safety gives safety and comfort that every change is like a break or is like something dark, right?
Yeah.
So you're willing to stay in your misery because you don't see change as something positive.
But you know the saying, right? Misery enjoys company.
Yes. I had other friends like
That's
that.
why we will not get into that mode, you and I. We will stay in the positive where the sun is shining
Right.
and the doggies and the kitties are playing. We won't go over the dark clouds and get into that storm.
Right.
No.
So what really helped me, and coming back to beauty of starting over, what really helped me to identify what are my goals, daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, annual goals, life goals. What's my purpose? What do I believe I'm here for to accomplish? What's my faith, right? And what do I trust? And by this, I suddenly saw the beauty of change because I wanted to grow. I wanted to become a better person. I wanted to do good every day. I wanted to feel accomplished. I wanted to stay healthy, holistically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And for that, you have to practice change every day. Change in your eating habits. Like this week, I had 2 days, I was bad. Like I shouldn't eat gluten. It's really bad for me. Like my body does not like gluten. I don't have this illness, but my body doesn't like it. But it tastes,
Mine either. I get so tired when I get a headache.
yeah.
But that's not our real problem. Both of our real problems is desserts. We like the sweeties. We like the sugar.
So beauty of starting over, I know my weaknesses. I should not have, and I do not have any sweets, any pastries, any bread, any pasta, what is not made out of chickpeas or lentils or anything other
Wow.
veggie at
I eat
home.
pasta once a week. That's the 1% Northern Italian in me. I know it's not good, but I make homemade sauces and I put some noodles in there.
They have chickpea pasta now.
I've tried the gluten-free pasta. I have gluten-free pasta in the fridge. I'm going to have that tonight. I have the glutino from Ronzo.
So it's really the beauty of starting over. It's really, are you celebrating change? Because it brings you closer to your goal, right? So if my goal is staying healthy for myself, for my kiddies, for the passion and purpose and faith I have to accomplish my goals, then yeah, I want to take care of my health. Yeah, I want to have positive energy, positive frequencies. I want to see good things. I want to focus on good things. Like, I'm happy. There doesn't have to be a big reason for it. I'm happy because I want to be happy.
We would like to take this moment and break in the episode to thank our sponsors. Robin Lord Law is New Jersey's premier criminal defense attorney for over 2 decades. Robin believes in justice for all and an aggressive legal approach in the courtroom, defending her clients with facts and passion. With an extremely high success rate, Robin has caught a lot of attention in the media with her bold approach in the courtroom and fabulous style. For more information, please contact Robin directly at robinlordlaw.com.
Absolutely. But we also have to be careful not to do things to the extreme, right? So I have a friend who's so obsessed with weight her whole life. I mean, she weighs weight, how much she weighs, her body. And she weighs her food. She puts it on the scale, what she drinks, this, that. For me, I cannot live like that. I have to enjoy my life. A good balance is really important. Sometimes, like most women, around the menstrual cycle, we crave desserts and chocolate. I know when it's coming because I'm like, if there's no ice cream or chocolate in this house, I'm going to go insane, right? And then I can have like 10 days where I'm like, I don't want any dessert. Some days, it's like, whoo, I had a day. I need some wine. Other days, I'm like, I just drink water all day. I don't have any soda in my fridge. I barely have any juices. This is an all natural pineapple juice. I think that we have to have a really nice balance. And Ashley talked about it as a young person, right? Having a good balance at a young age, because I think that especially people in their 20s and early 30s, they're very obsessed with certain things. Like, getting a lot of Botox or, their bodies and working out like crazy and only eating 1,000 calories a day and doing this. It's like, guys, slow down. Look at the Italian grandmothers that are 103 smoking cigarettes. I've seen this in Sicily down the highway with a cup of wine in a jug, and they're smoking cigarettes. And I look over and I'm like, she's 100. She has to be at least 100, and they're alive. So I think your attitude has so much to do with your health and your well-being.
So when I'm listening to and analyzing what you're saying, balance for you is something totally different. What's balance for me or balance for somebody else, right?
100%.
So your friend with the weight, for me, it would make a difference if it's an addiction, right? What she has.
It is an addiction.
Or if it's something she does for her health, because many illnesses start with overweight.
It has nothing to do with that. She's obsessed with staying at weighing a certain amount, obsessed with that.
So
that's
then
not healthy.
Then it's negative energy, what she's driving. But like you said, with the grandmother smoking and drinking, some grandmothers can do it. Other grandmothers perhaps cannot do it and they get cancer.
You know what it all comes down to? I truly believe this. It's your heritage. It's where in the world you're from. Because if you look at certain societies, who lives the longest? The Japanese, right? Certain Asian countries and the Italians. Look it up. Do it right now. Google it. Top 5 right now. I know that it's the Japanese and the Italians are in there. So you have to look at the lifespan, right? And because you're very analytical. And see who you don't want to know where Americans are. Well, you're not American, so you're like, they are like at the bottom of the list. It has to do a lot with heart disease, diabetes, all these other things, right? Unless you just get unlucky and you just unfortunately have something rare that happens to you. But you have to look at cultures and society as a whole and see who's living the longest and what that's based on.
So Google AI overviews, the top 5 is Monaco, Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Switzerland.
Where's Italy?
Italy is
I
further.
just said it's mostly the Asian countries, and you just named 4 of them. Yeah. You know why? Asians drink a lot of natural green tea and they eat with chopsticks. So they eat very slowly and they digest their food properly. I went to Japan and I never saw people eating so slow. I'm like, I'm on dessert. They're eating their appetizer, but that is how you're supposed to eat food, very slowly. And the natural green teas and the spices. And I mean, for me, when I went to Southeast Asia, I blew up my hands and my feet. I gained weight when I was there because there's too much salt. But yeah, the Asian cultures seem to have it down. Japan, Singapore. Singapore is also a very, very wealthy country. It's very clean and they have very low crime. And Switzerland, same thing. Very low crime, very little pollution. But where's Italy on there? Italy's not number 5 or 6. I'm shocked.
Not in the AI overviews doesn't mean it is not. When I go down further, countries where people live the longest from sources across the web is Japan, Hong Kong, Singapore, Switzerland, Italy, Australia, Spain, Monaco, South Korea. So it's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
depending
Living the
on
longest. Yeah. Where's,
what study it is
yeah.
and how the
But
data was put together.
yeah, I think that the beauty in resetting, change, making adjustments in your life is positive. It does come with some tears and it does come with a lot of laughter. And we just have to try our best every day. And one of the biggest things in Jamaica is, and I used to say this every morning when I'd wake up in Jamaica, all the years I lived there. I still say it now. Give thanks for life. Give thanks for life. It's so important. You wake up, you're like, I'm alive. Today is going to be a good day. I feel good. And if you tell yourself you're feeling good, you do feel good. And if you really know your body and something's off, then you go to the doctor. That's what I believe, because I know if something's off, I'm like, let me check this out. Don't mess around. Let's see what's going on. But really be in tune with who you are. And I think that another thing people need to do more of, and you and I spoke about this, you need to be on your own, people. You don't need to be around so many things and stimulation all the time. Sit with your own thoughts. I love my alone time. Love, because I like who I am. I'm happy with me. And if
You're not
someone doesn't
really
like
alone in your alone time.
what?
You're not really alone in your alone
Well,
time.
Oliver's always here, yeah, but he's sleeping right now. So I'm having my Zen and we're doing the podcast. But it's really important because you have to love who you are. And if other people don't love you, that's their problem. That's a them problem, not a you problem. And, we have to just constantly work on ourselves and better ourselves and be the better version of who we know we can be every day. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we fall back into old habits. But I think it's important to stay true to who we are. And that's
Yeah.
all I have to say on the matter.
Yeah,
And I'm done.
it also helps the beauty of starting over. It helps you to become better, to
Absolutely.
become more your authentic self.
So true.
I believe with the challenges you get in your life or the adventures you choose in your life to leave your comfort zone, you really have an opportunity to explore who you are in the different situations, which you perhaps never could explore if you don't leave the environment,
Absolutely. I agree. And on that note, we hear you. We see you.
So there's one message. What's the one message you would share?
I don't have one. You asked me just one.
I know.
My message is don't be afraid to challenge yourself every single day, small or large. Challenge yourself. It's great for your self growth.
My message is focus on your goal. What do you want to accomplish? And then evaluate what is needed to get you there. Because then suddenly the change becomes action steps, a process, and simply a checklist you go down. So you know where you are in getting to your goal, personally, in business, in your job, spiritually, mentally, physically. emotionally, right? Like starting over, and I know you want to end this podcast, but I just had the thought.
No, I don't. You're always the one that wants to end before me.
Starting over emotionally, that was the biggest thing in my life.
That starting over
Physically,
emotionally.
I never had challenges. Mentally, I love changes. I love changes. I love thinking outside the box. I love learning new things.
Right. It's the emotional.
Spiritually is always an adventure. But emotionally, I just wanted to have safety and comfort. Safety and comfort. I didn't want to have change.
Absolutely. But what comes with that is everybody just wants to be loved at the end of the day.
Yes. Yes, that's what it comes down to. And it's a great goal to have in starting over, learning to love yourself. Because
Absolutely.
nobody taught us that in our childhood. Our parents were not taught, like my parents. Perhaps now the parents, they are taught loving themselves.
Now, my parents were always like, we love you, we love you, we love you, hug, kiss, hug, hug. I was lucky to have that.
But loving yourself, you learn to love yourself.
Have you not met me? I'm so in love with myself. I mean, in a
No, I
positive
would
way.
not. I would say it's more ego driven.
Yeah, but in a positive ego, not in a negative ego. My ego is very positive. I love everything that I am. There are things that I'm constantly wanting to change, or I'm insecure in a moment, or I'm not feeling great, or I don't like the way my hair looks, or I want to lose another 5 pounds. Right? We all have our stuff, but at the core, I love exactly who I am. I know
Yes.
that I'm the funniest person.
Yes.
No one's funnier than me, period, full stop. And that's how I know how to love myself. I woke up this morning and in my head, I came up with the funniest joke because everyone's always told me, you have to go on the road and you have to do a comedy show and you have to do it. And my friend owns in New York called Stand Up New York. It's a very famous comedy club. He said, you know what? I want you to come to open mic night. You're funny. It's like 4 o'clock on a Wednesday. I'm like, who the hell's going to come here at 4 o'clock on a Wednesday? I'm going to do it. Then COVID happens and everything started getting shut down. And I was like, is this the sign that I'm not supposed to do this? But I woke up this morning and I thought of the funniest bit and I went, God, Chloe, you are so funny.
No, it is it.
No, I'll tell you, I don't want people to steal my jokes and try to use it on tour. I'll tell you separately.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
love you. What?
I love you too.
I love you more. Sisters
We
for
love
life.
you too, and we see you and we hear you. And subscribe
hear
to
you.
YouTube if you want more of these videos.
Yes. And go to Instagram, ProblemSolvHer, no E on solve, Apple, Spotify, and our website, ProblemSolvHer.com. Coaching's available. Right now, we're both busy. We have coachings end of October, early November. And maybe you'll see Dagmar and I on tour one day. Who knows?
Yeah.
Ciao
Have
for
fun.
now, everybody.
Yeah. Bye.
Love you.
Just a quick note before we end. This conversation is for inspiration and empowerment only. It's not medical, mental health, or legal advice. We are not doctors, therapists, or lawyers. Just women sharing real stories and personal truth. Always seek professional guidance for your unique situation.